The summation of some of our most favorite and popular fairy tales is that the princess is rescued by the knight in shining armor after being held hostage by an evil queen or some other dangerous villain. And there's almost always a prop: a wand, a glass slipper, pea, an apple, hair is rope. Imagine a book of made up stories that tell us from very young that the iridescent costumes, the sparkles, and fairy dust all seam themselves together to create magic, perfection. But what if you didn't have to be rescued from your life? What if you were your own hero? As a young girl, I grew up in an inner city community, and like many, my fairy tale dreams didn't always quite fit my reality. Often I would crouch my body low, slumped in posture, in hindsight, possibly survival mode, as I tried to map out the most ideal way to navigate my education, later on my career, my love for pageantry, and many of my goals. But to live differently, one must understand progress over perfection. Perfection comes in threes: socially prescribed, believing that others expect you to be perfect; self oriented, imposing unreasonably high standards on oneself; and other oriented, inflicting ridiculously high standards on others, like your friends, your peers, your family, and loved ones. Between 1989 and 2016, the Psychological Bulletin found that recent generations of college students reported significantly higher scores of each form of perfectionism than earlier generations. The socially prescribed score increased by 33%, self oriented by 10%, and other oriented by 16%. From choosing the right filter for a photo to career pressures, between the need to obtain a good education and comparison, perfectionism is a highway route to anxiety, depression, and depression, suicidal thoughts, and many other illness. I believe that lessons are better in practice than in theory. And given my long list of mistakes, I guess I've proven that right. But one of the things that I've learned is that when you're able to shift your focus from what you can get from your dreams and goals to what your dreams and goals can get from you can take on the world and you can change the trajectory of your life. Perfection is a myth, is living uniquely with the consequences of being flawed and being okay with living in your own truth. Many times we're told what to do with our lives: to remain in the castle, be afraid of the dragon, and wait to be rescued, when in actuality, we have the inner power to save ourselves by choosing our own standards, by straightening our backs, squaring our shoulders, and walking in the understanding that perfection is a myth because we dictate our merit, our joy, our dreams, and our reaction to life's never ending plot twists. And depending on who's telling the story, plot holds. But to do this is not easy. It takes risk, it takes courage and bravery. And for this, we need PR: practice and rescue. Practice getting up from your disappointments. In 2013, I competed for the Miss Universe Bahamas title. I didn't win. The following year, I decided to try a new pageant system, Miss World Bahamas. I didn't win. I tried once again the following year, and I won. A feat, you'd think. I now had the opportunity to represent the Bahamas at Miss World in Sanya, China. You'd think, finally. Yet later, I found myself struggling as an entrepreneur and getting up from an eviction notice at the hands of the COVID-19 pandemic. In my belief, this could not all be what others imagined for my life. And as if a mirror was held in front of my past, exactly 8 years later, I found myself right where I began, vying for the Universe Bahamas title. You see, I specialize in helping women walk confidently on a stage, in a room, interview, engagements much like this one, and even in those seasons that seem so much less than perfect. Because that's what I thought, that my time for wings were gone and that my journey could only look one way. You guessed it, the perfect way. Yet, my discovery led me to realize that no matter what your pursuits may be, that there are answers in the plot twist that life will significantly and annoyingly hold. I won a competition that 8 years prior I contended for and went on to be the first Bahamian woman to place at Miss World with a top 10 finish. I am now the third Bahamian woman to compete and win 2 of the world's international titles. Now, why would these things be more significant than my initial victory? Perfection would say that it is. But imperfection with maturity would make you wonder, what if the most imperfect moments of your life hold the most valuable outcomes for your life? Rescue. Rescue yourself from enabling pressures that lead to procrastination and anxiety. When you let go of the expectations and deal with the presented, you will impress yourself. You will find that I can be my own hero. And the only props that you'll ever really need are grit, determination, and faith. Be reasonable with yourself. I mean, to be able to take a drive on a Sunday evening, enjoying the breeze from the open air because the destination isn't the main focus. No, that doesn't matter. It's about enjoying the curves and bends that you will be able to experience. Being on the pageant stage, a Miss Pageant stage at that, at 19 years old, with well rounded women where I had no degree, no titles, unsure of my career path, clueless but curious, I wanted to be rescued. Pageantry was one of my fairy tales. But as I practiced getting up from the didn't work outs and the maybe next times, and applying persistency, resilience, faith in God, and a whole lot of guts, I was able to move forward with now a business in one hand, a degree in another, and even more impossible dreams peeking through. Perfection as the world sees it, it doesn't exist. In this book called Reality, you slay your dragons. You figure out how to unlock your own doors, even if that means trying keys that do not work. To my clients, I say, perfection means you can only try once. Practice means you can try again. Perfection says that there's only one story worth telling. Well, with rescue, when you rescue yourself, you come in there with stories being told. Life isn't about outperforming others in some drama or musical where in your head you don't even play the lead role. It's about casting your scenes accordingly and playing along with the antagonists that life will constantly, undoubtedly throw your way. And if you're lucky, you'll have the end credits that show that there's more to come from the pain, the tears, and the frustrations. Overcome your obstacles for you and not by comparing it to social media highlights of influencers. It's okay if your business hasn't taken off as yet. You might not be at the university of your choice. Your talent, it hasn't been discovered as yet. Maybe you haven't won your pageant. I am a recovering perfectionist. I fear no judgment in this, and neither should you. Because if you are able to get up from your failure, that means you're that much closer to success. And if you can see the mountain, you can most assuredly climb it. Validation from within is the treasure that we are constantly searching for in the forts and castles. So, what if you didn't need to be rescued from your life? What if you were your own hero? Thank you.